NASCAR might move the All-Star race to Dover? That's what the latest reports suggest. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Happy Friday, folks. It's a very exciting Friday because tonight is the Craftsman Truck Series regular season finale, Richmond Raceway. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but let's begin with some happy news on this happy Friday. Josh Williams is back in the Xfinity Series for 4 races. Remember, Josh Williams was released by Colleague Racing a couple weeks ago. The performance in that number 11 Chevy had been lackluster the past year and a half, but Williams is back. He announced today that Optimum has partnered with Alloy Employer Services to sponsor the Josh Williams Hospital Tour, a 4-race stretch that begins next week at Daytona in the Wawa 250. I don't see anything about what car or what team or teams he'll be driving for. I've heard one team mentioned. I've heard maybe the 45 car at Daytona, at least. I guess time will tell. Either way, Josh Williams back in the saddle. Gotta like Josh Williams. The work he's done with children's hospitals throughout his NASCAR career is remarkable, commendable. He's a really good dude. Glad to see him continuing to do great things in and around the community. Wish the Colleague Racing tenure had worked out better, but hopefully Josh Williams can finish the 2025 season with some solid Xfinity Series runs. Good luck to him. Let's talk about the Truck Series. Tonight, again, is the Craftsman Truck Series regular season finale. The 10-driver playoff field will be set after this race at Richmond. Stuart Friesen had qualified for the Truck Series playoffs thanks to his win at Michigan a few weeks back, but unfortunately, as we know, he suffered a severe leg, pelvis injury in a dirt-modified crash a couple weeks back. Friesen is not expected to return this season. Caden Honeycutt will drive his truck the rest of the way. Yesterday, Stuart Friesen released this statement, said, quote, Halmar Friesen Racing has elected not to pursue a driver waiver for Stuart Friesen for the 2025 Truck Series playoffs. We look forward to chasing a driver's championship with Caden Honeycutt and continuing the owner's title push when the playoffs begin. So Stuart Friesen, unfortunately, will not be part of this year's playoffs. That is a huge bummer. I'm not shocked that they're making this decision, again, knowing that Friesen isn't going to come back this year, but they are leaving at least a little bit of money on the table here. Driver points do pay something at the end of the Truck Series season, and Friesen could have finished 10th. Now he'll likely finish teens, maybe even in the 20s. We may be talking about, a few $1,000 difference, which, sounds like real money to you and me, but even to a Truck Series team, that's not a huge deal. And who knows? They have Caden Honeycutt behind the wheel. I don't know what his contract looks like now that he's switched teams and switched manufacturers mid-season, but I think Halmar Friesen Racing will be fine. Obviously, the owner's championship is still what's most important, and they are very much alive, very much part of the owner's championship fight. So the team still has a lot to fight for. And Friesen not asking for a waiver does create a much clearer driver playoff picture. Caden Honeycutt going into tonight's race is plus 65 points on the grid. It would take a new winner and like a last place finish for Honeycutt to potentially get knocked out tonight. Jake Garcia, only 11 points to the good. 2-time truck champion Ben Rhodes is the first driver out, minus 11 points. That would be a huge storyline if Rhodes were to miss the playoffs entirely. And then Gio Ruggiero, Tricon Garage driver, 21 points back. Yeah. Looking at this, Ben Rhodes, got to circle that name. He's been in these high leverage, high pressure situations before, and he's been able to deliver one way or another. He's a 2-time champion for a reason. Does he have another magical night in him tonight at Richmond? I don't know. I don't trust those Thor Sport trucks. Defending champion Ty Majeski's not on this list, but he hasn't exactly lit the world on fire this year. He'll be in the playoffs, but I don't think anyone has Majeski circled as a championship pick, which just shows you where Thor Sport is compared to 1 year ago. I really hate this for Stuart Friesen. He won that race at Michigan. He deserves to be part of the Truck Series playoffs, but unfortunately because of that injury, he won't get to take full advantage. Hopefully Caden Honeycutt gives that 52 truck a good ride the rest of the way, and that team can be a factor when it comes to the Truck Series Owners Championship. Let's move on. The 2026 NASCAR schedule, according to Kelly Crandall of Racer.com, could be finalized and released as soon as next week. But there are still a couple dates that have not yet been decided. The Athletic's Jordan Bianchi reported last night that NASCAR is seriously considering moving the All-Star race to Dover. Dover Motor Speedway, Miles the Monster paying out $1 million. I have so many questions. Why Dover? There's no lights at Dover. Are we looking at a midday all-star race? Ugh, I can hardly stomach it. Dover's a track that needs a long run to rubber in so that multiple lanes can be used. The all-star race is all about short runs, stages, segments, sprints. Why are we considering moving the all-star race there, of all places? Honestly, this makes absolutely no sense to me. Just gonna say it straight up. I mean, other than the fact that Dover is owned by SMI, and I don't know what's in their contract with NASCAR, but apparently SMI must always host the All-Star race. It was at Charlotte for years, then Bristol, Texas, North Wilkesboro. Okay, now I guess Dover. I've seen the argument this morning of, well, the All-Star race is a great time to test new things with the car, and Dover is the kind of track that could use some work. Yeah, well, so is North Wilkesboro. The short track racing package isn't exactly where fans expect it to be either. And Dover is a concrete track. There are only, 2, 3 concrete ovals on the schedule? It's its own beast, its own monster. No pun intended. Okay, pun entirely intended. You could test some aero stuff, I guess, because it is a high-speed oval. But again, because it's a concrete track, how do you know what you test there will perfectly translate to Phoenix or Richmond or Darlington, for example? I don't get it. I really don't. It's not confirmed, but that NASCAR is even considering it seriously is questionable, in my opinion. Look, I get it. NASCAR wants to award North Wilkesboro Speedway with a points race. I completely understand, and the easiest way to do that would be to swap out the North Wilkesboro All-Star race with another SMI facility, like Dover. But hey, wouldn't it make more sense to scrap Spring Bristol and instead give Bristol the All-Star date? Give North Wilkesboro a points race in April? I'm not saying the racing at Bristol is going to be much better than Dover these days, but at least the atmosphere would be better. You got lights, looming grandstands, spectacle. That feels more like an all-star race atmosphere than Dover could ever hope to be. Damn it, I would rather see Atlanta get a third race. Give Atlanta the all-star race. Again, under the lights. I mean, the July race this year basically looked like the All-Star Open, and that was a fantastic show. Do fans in Dover want this? They've already seen their 2 points dates a year reduced to 1, and now there's talk of getting rid of that and giving them an exhibition all-star race only. Do Dover fans want this? Dover fans gotta feel disrespected. I just don't get it. I understand wanting to give North Wilkesboro Speedway a points date, but aren't there other tracks you could swap it with before you consider Dover, Delaware? That's just me. And you know what? I get wanting North Wilkesboro to have a points date, but call me a hater. I think North Wilkesboro is best suited as the all-star race. I don't think it needs a points date like some would suggest. It's such a unique venue, a unique vibe. It's fairly close to home, to where all the teams are based in Charlotte. It's a great lead-in to the Charlotte Coca-Cola 600. Under the lights, packed house, great atmosphere. And again, it is so unique. For years, the all-star race kind of felt like filler, felt like just another race, especially when they moved it to Texas for a couple years. No one was excited about that. But North Wilkesboro, I think, has actually gotten fans kind of excited about the all-star race once again. We've seen fireworks, great finishes. I'm sure it would make for a fine points race. I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying it suits the all-star race atmosphere really, really well. If you move the all-star race to Dover, Delaware, and run it in broad daylight, what do you hope to accomplish there? I don't get it. I don't get that at all. I just remember when SMI bought Dover and Nashville Superspeedway a couple years ago, there were some who speculated that SMI was really just after their spots on the schedule. I don't know if that's true, but if Dover goes from 2 to 1 race and then from 1 race to just an all-star exhibition, it's hard not to feel like SMI just sees that track as a pawn. North Wilkesboro, our baby, needs a points race. Where should we get it from? We can move Dover. It's Dover. Who's really going to care? That's how this feels. That's how this feels to me. If they truly make Dover the all-star race, they're not doing that, in my opinion, because it's what's best for Dover or what's best for the all-star race itself. They're doing it because North Wilkesboro needs a points date. That's why I feel kind of bad for Dover fans. Maybe I'm way off base here. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Dover fans up in the Northeast who head to Dover, been to Dover before, let me know down in the comments below. Would Dover make for a fun all-star race? Am I way off base here? Does it make more sense than I'm giving it credit for? I know a lot of fans love to trash every major decision NASCAR makes, and yes, they've made some, I think, wrong decisions, but usually there's logic behind each and every one. I don't like that they sold off most of Auto Club Speedway, for example, but they were offered over $500 million for the land alone. Like, I get it. I understand the logic. I don't understand the logic of moving Dover into the May All-Star Race weekend slot. But maybe if this happens, when the full schedule is released, maybe it will make more sense then. But right now, I am scratching my head. SMH. That is me today on a Friday. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Dover All-Star Race? Is there another SMI facility on the schedule that would make more sense in that spot that they could swap North Wilkesboro with? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. That's all for me, folks. Hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great time tonight watching the truck race. Cup race is tomorrow, Saturday night, USA Network. Set a reminder, mark your calendars. I'll talk with you again late Saturday. You might see me early Sunday morning. Hope y'all have a great weekend. I'll see you again soon.